Okay, so we're gonna be playing a game called Making History 2, The War of the World. It's on stream. It's like it should be under 20 bucks. I actually forgot how much it costs since I've had the game for a while now. And as the first video for the channel and the first video of the series that I'm about to start, we're gonna be playing as the Netherlands. Which, since this is 1939, we have territory all the way in Indochina. As you can see, Japan and China at war. A little pocket of communist China. Initially, that's, if I remember right, that's the only wars that are happening at the beginning of the game. Yep. Japan's war against both China and Communist China, who are not allies, but also aren't enemies. We also have that bit of the Ganya. Since this takes place during the height of colonization, you're not going to really see that many independent countries. Most of the independent countries are in the Americas. There's only one independent African country, and that is Liberia, which, by the way, it was a country created by America as a place to send slaves back to Africa. But enough about history. The main goal of the channel is going to be to make us strong enough that when Germany, or if Germany, attacks, we'll be prepared. I will say this though, all the factions in this game, if you've ever played it and you've messed around with the edit mode, you'll know that all the nations with the game can have a war goal, or not a war goal, pretty much a planned war that you can set up. And naturally, Germany is set up to declare war on Poland around the time, not exactly when they historically declared war on Poland, but usually they'll declare war on Poland before 1939 ends. Sometimes when I've played the game, Germany doesn't declare war on Poland until 1940. But Germany is going to declare war on Poland, Danzig, and by the way, I'm sorry if I butcher any names in certain regions of the world whenever I talk about them. I'm going to try not to. Germany also will eventually at one point declare war on Denmark and or Luxembourg and Belgium, and consequently me. So this is going to be hard. Sometimes they may declare war on Denmark way before they declared war on Poland, which is kind of weird, but it brings some niceness to the series since it's not going completely along with history. And it's just random enough that it's pretty nice. My only fear is if I'm the first nation they declare war on. So you can see these two cities, Amsterdam and Rotterdam, both have, wait, hold on, yep. They have universities, which allows you to research technology. And so we're going to be researching some technology and also building up our military. I'm not really going to care about the colonies, mostly because our enemies aren't near the colonies. My fear is when Germany and Japan become allies, since Japan's so close, I may be a part of the war. But at the moment, the colonies are just going to be for collecting up resources. Which, while we're on that topic, I'm gonna set up some oil refineries. I'm probably gonna edit a lot of this out just because it's probably already taking a long time. And by the way, this is a turn-based game, and also if you do get this game or have this game, you'll notice that my turns are higher than the average scenario goes, and that's because I actually edit this so the turns go up. I actually just added a 0. No, I didn't. I forgot what I did, but basically I just made it so that way there are going to be 3,230 turns. And if I remember right, the scenario will end in 2001, right before 9/11, so there's that. What was I about to build? Yeah, coal mine. I'm gonna edit this one. Oh god. This is probably the best way to set up your resources. Just double click on a province and go to the tab that says region production, and boom, you can just do that. It only works on one project at a time, which is nice. Can sometimes it will go by slow, I will admit that. So our goals with the colonies is just to produce resources. We're not going to really militarize the colonies, but I will make the attempt, only so that way we're not left, our colonies aren't left unguarded. Also, to be fair, I'm not really that interested in keeping my colonies around or expanding, so in the near future I may actually just liberate some of my territories, mostly because they're small. Let's see, France, the British, Italy, that's also France, and Portugal, Belgium, South Africa, Egypt, which is owned by the UK, and then you have Italy again. Let's get into some politics, shall we? Denmark is very close to us. Before I do that, we're going to see, by the way, over here on this tab, your flag, which if you click on your flag up here, it automatically takes you to your capital. You have your government tab, city and regional management, which if I do this, we should get into building some stuff. We're gonna upgrade our factories. Okay, so over here, if you go down to the olive branch looking icon. Now, since we're on the first turn, the countries aren't going to be listed here, but it ranks the countries based off of, I wish they actually told you when you hovered the cursor over it, but wealth, research, I actually don't exactly know. Your industrial infrastructure, which is right here, and your power points, which is determined based off of, well, how powerful the regions are, which is determined based off of modifiers right here. The actually, is this what determined it? Yeah. No, that determines. Where is it? Oh, right here. Wow, I'm stupid. It's determined based off of if there is a city in a province, its research center, or how many research points the city has, which Amsterdam has 1. IPUs, which Amsterdam has 45 for now. The resources that are supplied, and the food. Actually, how much food do we produce? Okay, we eat 303 and produce 508, so we're good on when it comes to food. What was I gonna do? In terms of technology, I usually, if I'm playing a developed country, I usually go for mine mechanization, which gives you deep coal mines and deep metal mines. Which is an increased output, so we're gonna actually do that. It will help us gather more resources. Let's see. Belgium is the 16th most powerful nation in terms of world power points, 14th most industrial, 18th in manpower, 18th in tech, and 16th in wealth. Whereas I am 14th in wealth, 13th in tech. Overall, I'm better than them. Sorry, Belgium. Just why we should become allies. And they don't want to become allies. That's great. How about Denmark? They don't want to become allies either. I don't want to become allies with Poland for one major reason. They're usually going to be the first nation that Germany's going to declare war on. If that happens and I'm not ready, let's just say all hell's going to break loose. Of course you won't, Switzerland. You're always neutral. Honestly, Luxembourg would be a boring ally, but they don't even want to be allies. If I join Britain's alliance, it will get rid of my ability to become allies with others. I'll still have the option to give an alliance treaty, but it won't process because I won't be the alliance leader. Britain the United Kingdom would be the alliance leader only because they're better than me in these stats. I would have to be better than them militarily wise and power wise just so I can become alliance leader, which would give me the option of basically allying myself with anyone and everyone. So right now, the power structure It's very poor here. I can't become allies with France because actually I might be able to, but they'll automatically become the alliance leader, which gets rid of my diplomatic power, which we won't be able to. Our foreign affairs would suck if we're not the alliance leaders. So for now, we're not going to be in an alliance. Just going to end the turn. This is the first episode, and it's not going to be that lengthy. I'm actually going to end the episode here, but I wanted to show you guys the world power rankings before I did so. This allows you to compare yourself to other countries fairly easily. Wow. Italy is the richest. When it says points, the points are actually based off of how many billions you have. And so, if it says 2 points, that means Italy has $2 billion right now in their treasury. It doesn't go into decimals, so it's pretty much to the nearest billion. We're not even in the top 10. Oh, okay. At least we're not that far away. So it says 0 points, but you know, I have money. World power points, of course, America. And then Germany, Britain, and the USSR. Now, in this version of the game, I shouldn't say this version, but in this game versus the newer game they have, Making History, The Great War, there's something missing that they added in the new game, which is it'll tell you what type of power a nation is. Like in the new game, which takes place in World War I, they'll tell you somewhere on the nation's tab if they're a great power, local power, minor power, or even superpower. And I wish they had this in this game, because it's kind of just up to you. And America and Germany are superpowers, definitely, and same with the UK and the USSR, but it's kind of hard to tell who is a superpower. I mean, you can go based off of military, which Germany has the strongest military. It literally, right now, if war were to break out, it would take the USSR, France. Wow, the UK is weak. Whoa, the United States is weak. Then again, the United States only racked up their military just moments after declaring being a part of World War II. Mostly because we were isolationist back then. Could not talk. We didn't want to be in the war until Pearl Harbor. It's so funny. America, we never want to be a part of the world wars until we have to be a part of it. Until we feel like we've been provoked. But then after the Second World War, we just be declaring war on so many countries. Not really. We only declared war in Korea, Vietnam. There are some things that I really wouldn't consider a war just because of multiple factors, but if you want to consider the Panama invasion a war, then you can consider that. The first Gulf War, the Iraq War, which some people call the second Gulf War, Afghanistan. The first ones I named, Korea and Vietnam, were only because we need to extend our power. By the way, in the comment section, since I'm ending this soon, I said that like 4 minutes ago, tell me, what do you truly believe the Cold War was truly about? Capitalism versus communism? Because being a history buff, I kind of recently just got into I guess you can say, a phase where I'm now starting to really do more in-depth research and re-researching things I already knew about the Cold War, and I'm starting to realize I'm pretty sure it was more than just capitalism versus communism. It was democracy versus authoritarianism, but also I want to say it was just West Europeans versus East Europeans. Because as we're entering this so-called second Cold War, people think that's happening. It's pretty much still the same thing as the first Cold War. And personally, if you ask me, I don't think the Cold War truly ended just because the Soviet Union fell apart. Because yes, Russia and America's relations have improved. We're still not really seeing eye to eye on a lot of things, and it still seems like the world is a power game for those two nations. Us, the Americans, and the Russians, and also the Chinese. We're kind of all over the world, stretching our power still, trying to. So yeah, leave that down in the comment section. Next episode, I'm gonna show way more and possibly go higher depth into the turns, because we're only on the second turn. But yeah. There was something I was saying earlier that I wanted to continue on, but oh well, I'm sure it will come to me. Next episode, we're gonna try to, and I might just skip ahead, by the way, but next episode we're just gonna keep industrializing in Europe, building up our military and trying to flex our power and gain power in Europe. So that way Germany won't just see us as a little blip on the map, and instead will consider us a feasible foe, if you ask me. I want to help Poland, but the thing is, because of how early the war is going to begin, I really don't want to. Because, I mean, let's just even look at this. Military. Poland has a military offensive strength of 872, so that's how much damage they can dish out. Their military can dish out. Well, their ground forces, to be exact. Where am I? Oh my god, I'm so weak. Even Belgium is better than me. Did I pass it? Nope. Our military strength is 125. We are literally, let's see, well, 10% of Germany's strength would be 546. Half of 500. I'm really not gonna want to do the math on this. I want to, but I'm just not gonna do it. We're just gonna say about like a fifth of Germany, not even a fifth, like we wouldn't even be able to scratch Germany. Let's just leave it at that. So we got a lot of work to do, and we're not gonna survive. Last time I tried to play as the Dutch, actually, I declared war on Belgium, and then Germany declared war on both of us and just conquered us. And the good thing is, even if you lose your territory in Europe, unlike Empire Total War, where if you lose your territory in your home theater, your entire faction falls apart, it will most likely relocate me to one of my colonies. But yeah, we're just gonna keep bulking up our resources. Increase our strength, and see how powerful we can get by the time that they declare war on us. Alright, bye.